over here.
Chitty up. I'll warm you up. So do 50 jumping jacks. We're gonna do them in all of the directions. Hana, Jewel, set, net, Dawson, Ghost, Olga, Letter, a hook, Jewel, turn to the left, Hana, Jewel, set, net, Dawson, Ghost, Olga, Letter, a hook, Jewel, not your left, Hana, Jewel, set, net, Dawson, Ghost, Olga, Letter, a hook, Jewel, and to the facing that way. We do jumping jacks that way, and then turn to the left. So this direction, 10 more. Arm, tool, set, net, stop, just, over, letter, a hook, tool, facing me, 10 more. Hana, tool, set, net, gossip, gossip, over, letter, a hook, tool, right hand up and to the left. Left hand grabs and exhale. Other hand up and to the right. Right hand grabs, sink forward. And up, exhale. Circles with your arms forward. Backwards. And then side to side, in and out. Then have your palms facing up, same thing. Then right hand across your body, left hand pushes. And other side. Over your head. So left hand goes behind your head, right hand pushes your elbow back. Other side, right hand over your head and left hand pushes. And back. Knee up, right knee up, and grab into your chest. Inhale and sink lower. So supporting knee should be bent. And exhale and up, straighten, and down. Inhale and up. Exhale. Then bring your leg behind you. Try to stay still. And from here, you want to keep your supporting leg a little bit bent. And then with your left hand, We're gonna reach down and touch your toes. Still holding your right foot. Stand up. And then other foot. So left leg into your chest. And sink down, inhale. Exhale, stand up. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. Bring your leg behind you. Try to do it with two hands if you can. You can't just use one hand. Now with your right hand, it's gonna reach down and touch your toes. And up. And then back. We'll go down to your right. Make sure that you're with your left leg, only the heel is off the ground. And switching, hana. Dual. Set. Net. Dosset. Yoset. There we go. Yada. A hook. Dual. Hands behind the head. And side to side, hana. Left. Dual. Just to the left. Set. Net. Dosset. Yoset. There we go. Yada. A hook. Dual. Keep your hands where they are and switch. The other side. 10 more to the right. Hana. And up. Dual. Set. Net. Dosset. Yoset. Ilga. Yada. A hook. Dual. And then push into a side leg jase. And then elbows on the knees, rock side to side. And straighten the legs, reach down. And standing up. Yeah.
Did you bow? You're good? All right, let's go ahead and start.
Straight up. You got it. Perfect.
Okay, everyone, sorry for the delay. Let's have everybody have a seat. In the Dons, you can step over.
Yes, sir.
Maybe Mr. Jackson, you can help with organizing that, and Mr. Crouch will bring up the promotions as I call them out. I I thought all of you, just overall, I thought there was a very strong test a few weeks ago. I'm really, really pleased with the progress, especially from all the new students. I thought you all did just a magnificent job. You've only been training for a very little amount of time. I think all of you about a month, and very impressed to see how quickly you pick some of this up. Not just in the memorization, but you're already starting to move the way that we're hoping. So you all should feel very, very pleased with your performance. So we'll start with the senior members here that tested. So the first one would be Sam. So Sam, why don't you come up? Sam being promoted to Olga, fifth grade. And then so Mr. Corrales, you'll be over here. Mr. Corrales. You'll bring the stuff over there. So these are the certificates that you'll receive. Over here on the left, it's in Korean, and then on the right, it's in English. For the first one, I'll read both. Sungyoung Sam Myers, 왜 사람은 무조건 성급심사에서 우부불, 인정받았음을 증명함, 세계 무조건 사단법인 대한수박도회 관장 황현철. Sam Myers, named on the certificate, has been tested and promoted to the grade of Ogu by the Technical Advisory Committee of the United States Subakdo Mudapan Federation. Signed, your instructor, Chairman of the Technical Advisory Committee, Craig Hayes Solomon, and President of World Mudapan, Kwan Jung Nim H.C. Kwong. Sam, you can go there. Next up, here, then we have Annie, and then followed by Alyssa. And Connolly, you're being promoted to your fourth grade. Congratulations. You can go over there and ask them for a second start. Okay, and then Alyssa Chris, come on up. So Alyssa, you're being promoted to your red belt. And turn around, take your green belt off. Oh, yeah, it's totally on. So you will turn around, take your belt off, and then we'll let you put your new belt on. Oh, and then you like and then turn around. Here's your certificate. Congratulations. Next group of presentations looks like is Owen and Benjamin. Why don't you both come on up? So you both, nice job. I like seeing you guys continue to progress together. So you're being promoted to your 7th grade. Should go. You make a mistake? Okay.
That was one, sir. That's okay.
So we'll look to see if you registered or if they, maybe if there's a fair. Okay, try to get it together. Upside down. Let's give them a hand. And the next group, a little larger group now, will be the 8 GUPs. Okay, from being promoted to 8th GUP or Orange Belt. We have Adam, Charlie, Jackson, and Mia. If you 4 can stand up. Yes, sir. And then starting with Adam, single file across. Mia will follow in behind. Yep, behind. Go, go, go. Quickly, quickly. Yep, up to the front, and then you'll bow towards Naomi. You come closer, Adam, and then you'll do it all together. You go more, so everybody can be there. Good. Now turn, bow, face here, run on up. So you 4 are being promoted to your Orange Belt. So we have a couple extra promotions. Don't forget the pins. And then do each of you have a pin? Everyone does. So when you're first promoted, your first promotion, you also get a bronze lapel pin. Put on a hat or a jacket or a backpack because you all need to put on your patches too, on your dobal. But this is so that you can wear the Mudokwan emblem wherever you go. And there's a lot of history behind this emblem. It started at the beginning, our martial art began in 1945 after the Japanese occupation in Korea ended. And you can imagine there's a lot of poverty in the country at the time. And you know why you joined a martial arts school? Was literally so you could defend yourself and you could defend your family. And this pin symbolized that you were a part of a very strong brotherhood. And by having this pin on you, you had a little extra respect in your community because of the name of Mudokwan. We continue that tradition today. So each of you will get a bronze pin. Once you get the rank of Chodan, you'll get a silver pin. And then once you get the rank of Sadan or become a master, then you'll get a gold pin. So Adam, congratulations. You're great. Just hold that for a second. Charlie. Jackson. Mia. Do a bow, and then actually before the bow, I'd like you all to go around to your parents, bow to your parents, and then take your white belt off. They'll help you put your orange belt on, and then come out and we'll bow out. Okay? Go ahead. And while they're doing that, we'll bring up the next group. So those that are being promoted to 9th grade are Ryan, Soren, and Dixie. It's like no Soren today, huh? It's okay. So Ryan and Dixie, come on up. So Ryan, you're being promoted to your 9th grade. With your cup pen. Congratulations. Dixie. Congratulations. Back up. And then go turn and face Naomi and bow once you get close to that line. Excellent. It's good to have all of you. Okay, so then new orange belts, once you're ready, you can come up, back up around. Got one more that we're waiting on. While we wait, those of you that have stripes, parents, if your children receive stripes, you'll find that on the stripe that there's a matted side and a glossy side. Just put the glossy side face down 2 inches from the tip, and then wrap it around and then place a hot iron on all 4 sides and it'll adhere to the belt. So just make sure it's glossy side down, 2 inches from the tip. If you're going for your second stripe, you want to have 2 inches from the tip and then a ½ inch between each stripe. Okay, one back. Congratulations. And then same thing, turn and face Naomi before you. A little more hustle, orange belts. Okay, let's give everybody a excellent test, everyone. Always very exciting to see changes in color in the school, kind of moving toward the next season of your training. So we have a tournament to prepare for now. So we're going to start talking about that. So during this next month, it's all going to be about form training, preparing you for the forms competition. It'll give you some good experience under your belt so that when you go to a more serious competition with people you've never met before, you'll be very well prepared for that type of experience. Everyone here that's just been promoted also has new forms that they need to learn. And so we'll be working on that throughout the month as well. Okay? So at the dawn numbers, if you can find your place, leave a seat for me, and then stagger as if you were going to participate in the tournament. Be a judge at the tournament. Yes. Okay, so today's class, we're going to simulate what it looks like to go through a tournament. Okay, so you three, why don't you just have a seat? Okay, so here's how it works. You're going to be divided by age and by rank. So we're going to do that right now. So let's have everybody stand up. And first of all, let's have all of the white belts in the back line up on the back wall. Orange belts line up over here. Green belts line up over here. Go ahead. And then I want you to talk amongst yourselves and organize yourselves by age. I want the oldest person closest to this side, and then the youngest person closest to that side. Adults, you don't have to talk amongst yourselves. You're all good. Okay, so just make sure you understand ages. And this is what's going to happen. Okay, so let's start. So white belts, there's 2 of you, so come on up. White belts, come on up. So for this tournament, you'd probably be, Dixie, put your stuff away first. I'm sorry. But Ryan, you come on up. And why don't you line up right here? And how old are you, Ryan? 8. And Dixie, how old are you? Okay, so you'll be in the same division because you're the same age and rank. Okay, so you two can sit kind of close to each other and have a seat. Right there, that's great. Okay, orange belts, come on over, and Benjamin and Owen, you'll compete against each other, right? So you two will be in a group right here. Sure. Then the next 4, I think you'll all be in the same division. Why don't you be over here? And you 4, yeah, our newly minted orange belt right here. Okay. And then the green belts, you probably have a kid, Joe, you 3 will be in a separate division. Sure. Right? And then you 2 would be, you probably have like a adult belt division. Okay. So everybody have a seat, you'll be able to have a good seat at this. Okay. So that's how it works. You'll be divided by age and by rank. We'll do our best to do that. I like to try and have, it depends because it's going to be just with us, right? So ideally, I'd like to have like 4 to 6 people in each division. And then you'll be competing to try and get 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. And we've already got the medals ready for that, okay? So we'll have our divisions. It's going to be a small tournament. We're just going to have some fun and learn what this process looks like, okay? So let's see, which of our green belts here is very experienced that would like to demonstrate how this works? Let's get, who's competed before, green belts? Okay, then all 3 of you should raise your hand, right? You can all do this. Okay, let's have Naomi and Reed as the 2 senior members come up. So for those of you that are watching online, we're going to change the orientation now so that you're seeing it from the judge's perspective. Okay, so green belts, come on up, and we're going to do it just as if, and let's have the adults, you've done this before, so you'll be the scorekeeper and timekeeper. Just pretend, right? So Annie, you'll be the timekeeper, so you'll be the one that'll call the first 2 up. So you choose, back up and have a seat. Have a seat there. Okay. So this is what it looks like. Okay. So you'll be in a division. Okay. And there will be 5 judges. Be a center judge. Okay. That's me. And then there will be 4 additional judges. Each of us will give you a score. That score, the midpoint will be a 7.5. What that means is that I just look at Naomi and I say, okay, she's 10 years old? 11 years old, and she's a 4th gut. I have in my mind, without even looking at her perform, I have an idea of what I would expect her to do. I have an expectation of her performance. If she meets that expectation, she's a 7.5. If she exceeds that expectation, she's above that score. If she doesn't exceed that expectation, it's lower expectation, then it's a 7.4 or below. Okay? Each of us will score. The highest score and the lowest score are removed. And then there's only 3 judges remaining. The scorekeeper will then add those 3 scores to give you the total score. If there's a tie at the end, you add the high and the low score back in to try and break the tie. If there's still a tie, you have to do another form. If there's still a tie, then the judges vote on the winner. Okay? So that's more or less how it works. So this is what it'll look like, okay? So the timekeeper will stand and call their names. Naomi and Reed. Yes, ma'am. They'll walk up to the white line. We'll say that that's the entrance to the ring. They'll bow into the ring. They'll approach the judges. A little further. There you go. That's it. Okay, then you two will bow on your own. And then the competitor on my left will state their name and form.
Naomi Carlin. Panang Sadon.
And on my right.
Alexander Wallace. Pyongyang Sadon.
Excellent. That helps us ensure that we've stated the right people, right? So that we don't read Naomi's score. So Naomi is on my left. They note that Naomi's on my left. Okay, you'll back it up. Take your positions. We're going to back it up more, as much as you need. And you're actually going to do the forms now.
Sure.
Chumbi. Now, unlike in class, you don't have to stay together. It's your own individual performance this time. And you can begin whenever you're ready. So I'm not going to tell you when to start. We'll just give it 75 every time. So just do 75 every time. So that you're okay. Like that. One at a time. Make it big. Paro. Okay, so we'll face the audience and spectators first. Judges, score! And then the scorekeeper will stand up and read the scores.
7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5.
Okay. And then we do judges on my right, score. Lift it. And then turn.
7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5.
Okay. And then after you've seen your scores, Chariot, Kyungne, bow to the judges, then you'll back out of the ring, and then you'll bow out of the ring. Loud subak, and then you'll have a seat. And then you sit right there. Okay, and then the next two competitors will be called out. Notice, students, that none of you mind. So actually, you're not that important. Nobody is watching you. He's looking at the other ring. Okay, that's what you can kind of think about. So it's pretty. It's not as nearly as scary as some of you might think. Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay, so then what they do over there is they're adding the scores up. They take the high and the low out. They give you the total score, and then they keep doing that until all the competitors are done. And then we figure out who's first, second, and third. Okay, that's the form competition. So green belts, you two can stand up and go back to your positions. Okay, kamsahamnida. Okay, so we'll just bring this back. Any questions about what we just saw?
No, sir.
It seemed simple enough?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do as a school. Now, what's really fun about this particular tournament, because it's no stress, I'm actually I won't be one of the judges. I'm going to we have plenty of black belts in our school. They will be your judges. For a lot of them, this will be the first tournament that they've ever judged. So this is going to be a learning experience for everybody, okay? So hopefully as we go through this, that all of you will, one, participate, and then two, just support the idea that we're all learning how to do this together, so that then when we go to a more competitive environment, that we're better prepared for that. So what I tell my students, how much time do we have left? Okay. What I tell my students before any competition, I'm going to say right now, and parents, hopefully you can try and reinforce this idea. It's going to be, I want you to take the competition seriously for your own personal benefit and improvement. But at the end of the day, if you don't receive a medal, doesn't necessarily mean you weren't the best performer on the floor. And just because you do go home with a medal doesn't mean you were. So the nature of form competition is that it's highly subjective. In other words, you have to impress one of the judges. And the more you impress the judges, the higher the score gets. But it's hard to decide, it's based on their opinion. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we're going through the form competition. In future classes, I'm going to start explaining what it means to get a high score. What are some areas that what you should be doing to try and get your score higher and higher. All right, so we'll be going over some of those things as well in class. Okay?
Sir.
All right, I think that's all we needed to cover. Did I miss anything? Pretty straightforward. Okay, yes, Naomi, question, and then we'll be done.
Will we be doing sparring or breaking?
Just good question. Right now we're just doing forms. I've thought of doing a breaking competition, but I don't think we're going to do that this time. It's simple, just a forms.
Sir.
And that's because of where we are with the pandemic. None of us have sparred for over a year. I'm hoping that we'll do another tournament in the fall where we'll invite some of our friends to participate with us, assuming that we've had enough time where we're kind of back to normal life. If that's wishful thinking on my part and we're not headed in that direction, then we won't. Okay, but that's kind of my hope. Okay? All right, so with that, let's have everybody stand up.
Sir.
And let's divide. So let's have Mr. Corrales, if you could take the white belts and review Kicho Hyung Ilbu once, and then if you could teach them Kicho Hyung Ibu. And then we've got the new orange belts. Let's have Colin teach them Kicho Hyung Sambu, please. Mr. Corrales, why don't you take the 7th gups there? Wait, except you guys already know Pyongan Shodan, don't you? You do? Okay, forget that. Start over. Benjamin, you're going to take the white belts here and you're going to teach them Kicho Hyung Ibu. Owen, you're going to take these orange belts and teach them Kicho Hyung Sambu. Colin, you're going to take Sam and teach him Pyongan Samdan. Pyongan Samdan. You're going to take Reed, Mr. Gassman, take Reed and Naomi and review No, Colin, you're going to take all 3 of them and I want you to review Pyongan Samdan. All 3 of them. Okay? And then Mr. Gassman, let's have you take, Mr. Corrales, you take Annie and her form in Pyongan Sadam. Mr. Pyongan Sadam. And then Mr. Gassman, why don't you take Melissa Pyongan Boy. Okay? All right, so let's everybody stand up, and you're going to stay here with me because you don't have an assignment yet, right? Okay, I've got an idea for you. Everybody stand up. Okay, 감사합니다. Okay, so we've got about 10-15 minutes to work. Let's see, we have, about 15 minutes to work. Okay, so go to your instructors, find a little spot, and you'll work on your new forms. Okay? Great. Those of you that are participating, but we're going to sign off now since everybody's divided into different groups. Thanks for your support.
Yeah.